the things, Nikki, man, you have discussed extensively.
Mm-hmm.
You guys want to explain from your professional opinion what is being raised on survival mode and what is being raised in love?
Okay.
I think it's like nature versus nurture. So, if if you're, I mean, everybody experienced trauma, but if you're experiencing a lot of, you're not in a nurturing environment, where you're encouraged to communicate, like Nikki said, communicate, that you take a more therapeutic approach in parenting. That's,
Mm-hmm.
being raised in love versus survival, where there's some people who are like, they don't know if they're going to eat every single
Right.
day. They may be sleeping on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they don't know where their next meal is going to come from. They don't, get to take
Mm-hmm.
baths every night. So that's
They're
what
in
we're talking
survival
about.
mode.
Yeah,
That's a
they're in
PTSD.
survival.
So when, like I just said, you have these type of individuals, and so you have the survival versus love. So when you become an adult, you may have abandonment issues, so your personality may dictate that you are not open. You're not open to receiving relationships because you might be scared based upon your abandonment issues that this person is not going to be there for the long term. They're going to
Yeah.
be there temporarily. So I think a lot of times we don't take those things, our backgrounds, into consideration, and that survival versus love. When someone is loved and they know that they're grounded and they have a really good foundation, they don't have a problem coming to you and expressing to you how they feel because
Yeah.
they know that it's going to be received in love, versus like what I just said, if you don't know where your next meal is going to come from, if you don't know where you're going to live at that night, if you don't know if you're going to be sharing a house with 15 of your cousins, you don't know. And so that is going to dictate a lot of your personality when you become older. So in all of your relationships, whether it be work, whether it be your personal relationships, even how you interact with your own children, it is going to have a significant impact, on your personality, because like I just said, a lot of us, it's PTSD. If you're in survival mode 24/7 versus love mode, so all you're concerned about is making sure that you have certain things met. And so you might have in some cases, people that are in survival mode, they're very standoffish, they're very stern, they're very matter of fact, get to the point.
Yeah.
They don't have time to play these games because their whole thing is they are in constant survival mode. And I think,
Yeah.
as like I just said, in therapy, you have to actually go and unlearn, like undo and unlearn a lot of these things, to be progressive, especially in your like I said, in your, whether it's your marital relationship, your relationship with your children, your relationships at work, because the things that sometimes we were taught, or the ways we were taught to communicate, may not necessarily be the best way to communicate. And so a lot of times people don't realize when you're dealing with people at work, and you're dealing with all these different personalities, you're like, what's wrong with this person? Well, you have to consider the background. They may really be a let's get to the point kind of person. And you're like, oh God, what's wrong? I just wanted to have a little bit of conversation before we got down